In the good old days, EA used to make a PC exclusive football management game every year, and it was actually a fresh take and a unique spin on the niche genre, the iconic FIFA Manager. But like all good things, it came to an end in 2013. It was a unique spin-off series that would rival Football Manager in the realistic manager simulation market for over a decade. Unfortunately, EA removed it from their website years ago and discontinued the series. Gone without a trace, pulling it from stores worldwide, and nowadays if you want to play the game and give it a go, it's impossible to purchase it on any digital storefront. Unless you want to cough up over £300, be my guest. Its rarity has skyrocketed in recent times, so don't ask me how I got my copy in 2024, alright? FBI, open up! So over the course of a 16-year lifespan, the game has built up a strong and passionate player base that still surrounds FIFA Manager to this day. Not to mention a modding scene that has uploaded completely free seasonal update mods that refreshes the teams, kits, transfers, managers, stadiums, menus, and more. They're single-handedly preserving this game and keeping its legacy alive better than the billion-dollar corporation that just swept it under the rug. Believe it or not, I've got my hands on it, so today we'll be playing through it and seeing exactly what it has to offer and exploring some features that not even FC25 or FM25 have to boast about. It's here in all its modded and updated glory, FIFA Manager 2024. We will be there. Like always, guys, I'll leave the mod link down below in the description for you guys to go and download and check out for yourselves. I want to deep dive into everything from the normal typical manager mode to the World Cup based game mode and exploring the likes of the match prediction feature and 3D highlights. Let's just fire up a brand new game just to see what all the hype's about. Bro, this FIFA World Cup game mode is probably going to be better than whatever EA dished up in FIFA 23. I want to save it for later, but these small little mod add-ons have already got me hyped. So when you start up a fresh new classic game, well, you're going to jump straight into the setup menu, and to think about it, these settings and setup is over 10 years old, and it's already more in depth than career mode is nowadays. Let's take a look through it. We can either select the standard mode where you can choose your club and start your career. You could also play a career where it's kind of being a free agent. You get offered 3 randomly chosen clubs at the start of the game, so it gives your experience a bit more of a random element to it. Or you could also found a club. You could create a club back in FIFA Manager, a feature which wouldn't return to FIFA until FIFA 22. Over 10 years later. I do want to test out all of them, but we're just going to start off with standard mode at the moment. You could play with sacking turned on, or you could play as an owner, and you can't sell the club within the first 5 years. Again, more settings that are intriguing me, and I already want to experiment with them all, but you could either start with actual numbers of staff available to you right away, switch between a weekly or yearly displayed salary, and basically you could toggle between turning on all of the players' talent stars and player levels in this game, which is basically their attributes and stats. You could turn that on so you just don't have to scout them in general, so that's exactly what we'll be doing. Skipping to the next screen where you can select the exact database you want your save to load up into. Back before we had this mod, you could select all the different kinds of squad updates this game went through, or you could use the database from the custom editor. So basically what it allows you to do is customize your own squad, transfer players, create custom teams, edit player stats, names, pretty much just create your own world and universe and have full control and customization over an entire database. I know there's a lot of stuff to get into. It's quite overwhelming at the beginning, but we're just going to stick with the September database of 2023. I want to play around with unlimited transfers, and I also want to play with future transfers turned on. I also want to turn on adding randomization for youth player talents, which is an experimental feature. Damn, I didn't realize this game would be this in depth, but we've got to load up the playable leagues and playable countries. Those are just the recommended leagues, but you could go custom and like look how many different playable countries and leagues there are here. From the likes of Andorra and Angola all the way down to Zambia and Vietnam. You could play in the San Marino League if you want to, the Campionato San Marinese. The more leagues and clubs you load up, the more it's going to take to load. It's going to take a toll on your hardware if you load up every single nation. That's where the customization comes into play and you can kind of cater your experience towards what you want. As we transition into the manager customization screen, which pretty much has everything you're used to. Your first and last name, gender, date of birth, age. However, you could pick your nationality, but you could also go ahead and pick a second nationality, which in my case especially is perfect. You could customize what languages your manager speaks, so you can select both your mother tongue and a foreign language, which will be helpful when working abroad. You'll also be able to learn new languages throughout the game. Alright, I didn't realize this was going to be such an educational experience. Let's just say I know Italian as well. Just for the purposes of this video, I'm fluent. You could also upload a profile picture. We dragged and dropped it. Aha, there we go. You can like add different photos and profile pics to your collection. The game has provided us with what? Over 19 different manager faces. Considering most of them look like AI generated slop from the year 2003 and look more like Halloween costumes than actual humans. What you can also select is not only your favorite club, but your least favorite club and your favorite player. You could pick favorites in this game. You could really customize your manager profile, and it would actually affect your gameplay experience, because what it says here is when you set a least favorite club, this will enhance or reduce the probability of getting job offers from them. And if you define a favorite player, you will increase the chance of signing this player for your team. I'm a fan of how these little decisions actually impact your managerial experience. And okay, we've got manager customization in the game. You could select from casual clothes, formal clothes, or you could go for a sporty little outfit with a tracksuit. Oh my god, you could actually customize your manager. Oh wow, this is insane. And you could actually use whatever you've created in this little appearance customization section as your manager profile portrait. You could pick his height, you could pick his weight, stuff you can't even do in career mode in FC25. When you're working with a game engine that's over 10, 15 years old, it's impressive how many features they've actually managed to put in the game. I didn't expect any kind of manager customization or visuals here. I'm going to use this glorious 3D head as my manager portrait, weighing in at 100 kilos, 230 centimeters with a bit of casual clothing. And now here's where things get interesting, because you have a choice. You can either decide on having a finance assistant in the game, as the finance assistant will control all financial aspects of the club. The following menu entries will be disabled, so you can concentrate completely on the football aspect. So the stadium infrastructure, merchandise, ticketing, sponsor. Okay, no, hold on. I want to take control of that. So I don't want no assistant helping me out. What I do want to play with though is the personal life feature, which no management game whatsoever, be it either FIFA or Football Manager, has this in their games. But FIFA Manager went that next level above, that next level of depth, as our personal life can let us have family, a house. Okay, alright, let's just get into it. I want to enable it. We've created our new manager. We can play with multiple managers. You could select up to 4 participants. Let's just nail down one manager for the minute. So Sir BCHD, helmeted up, ready to go. Now we get to choose what team we want to take over. Oh my god, we could do an unemployed mode and just pick no club. This video is going to go for like 2 hours, but let's just take over Arsenal and get rid of Mikel Arteta. Oh, you could also choose to load in and start managing a national team straight off the bat too, which is an option you don't really get in career mode. So just by the setup of the save alone, you can already tell that this game has so many different layers of depth, and so much more care and time has been put into this. We've got a few board expectations and seasonal objectives we have to customize with the board. Our job security is very low. The sponsors are happy. The fans are ecstatic. They've got that typical Arsenal fan copium programmed into the game just right. We've got our expected income. We've got sponsors, tickets, merchandise, membership fees. So it's kind of broken down into your salaries. Your transfer budget has its own little section. We've got the infrastructure, the miscellaneous tab, and then the reserve, which I guess the club kind of just stores away with how you break down your overall season budget, because we've got about nearly £500 million to splash here, but it's all on different kind of aspects of the club. It's not just your transfer budget. There are so many other different elements of the club you need to think about. Here is pretty much your main menu you're welcomed into. You've got all these different kind of things displayed everywhere. It's kind of just all thrown at you. It's a little bit overwhelming at the start. You've got your current league standings, your upcoming fixtures, and your overall budget. And what I like about this menu, you can make them bigger, you can expand them, and you can change up to where they actually are fitting in on your sidebar. So you've got a lot of customization in that regard. We've also got this little phone here on the side, the Arsenal fan app, which just filters through a whole bunch of competition news, kind of like the news tab in career mode. Arsenal already saying that BCHD has a lot of work to do. I just got here, man. Give me a break. Atmosphere at Arsenal at a new low. Damn, I didn't realize we were in doomsday already. Basically, on this little Premier League website tab, you've got your local news, your news abroad, your international competition news. You have league stats to filter through, team of the day, honors, even birthdays we could have a look at. Okay, it's Garnacho's birthday today, apparently. Everyone wish Garnacho a happy birthday in the comments below as he turns 19. Here's pretty much what the player profile looks like when you click onto any player on your team or in the world. Not only do we have these profile photos, stats, attributes, market value, but we've also got some more detailed stats here I want to go over, like his dual nationality. He can play for Argentina or Spain if he wants to. This is how his rating changes depending on what position he moves into. At left wing, he's a 76. On the right wing, he's a 73. And if you play him out at striker, he's a 68. Skills and attributes are broken down into a couple different categories. We've got outfield, mental, physical fitness, and set pieces. And we can filter through showing all of his skills, showing his skills for different kind of positions. You can see all the important attributes according to each position. He's 100% biased to being on the left wing, 97% if you put him on the right. Not only can you see what type of languages managers speak, but you could also see the languages that players speak. Garnacho can either speak English or Spanish. You can see his age, weight, and height, fitness and energy, his experience levels. He's a 1 out of 10 leadership rank. His discipline level, seeing that he's never given a problem. You could see his current confidence level right now, which is good. His morale, his form, which is at an 8, medium. As you can see, his injury history, which would obviously fill up the further you go into a save. His acceptance rating by the team, so he's fully accepted. He's currently in a prospect position in the team hierarchy, which is literally a feature that didn't come into Football Manager for years. He's currently at the bottom of the totem pole. You get a nice little breakdown of his career stats, his club appearances, certain accolades and different awards get counted. So how many times he's won the Footballer of the Month, Player of the Year, World Player of the Year. This game actually has historical stats embedded into every single player and manager. You get to see his transfer history. So in 2020, he went to Manchester United for 372k, played 21 games, 13 as a starter. We get a full breakdown of not only his contract parameters, like how long it is and his salary, but we also get an insurance tab, which is unknown for Garnacho right now, and additional contract parameters like a salary cut if United get relegated, an appearance bonus, a bonus if they win the league, a goal bonus. It feels strange right now. I feel like I'm invading Manchester United and Garnacho's privacy, but this is just the way it is. And you can actually select which type of scout to go out and scout the player. So right now, Jason Ato, level 85, will be watching his next non-friendly games. Open our notepad. What does this do? We can just type random little notes about this player. You could go ahead and compare different players, different transfer targets, potential future signings, and put them up against each other head to head. You can tell that he's not accepted by parts of the team. So the players at Bournemouth and the manager clearly don't want him at the club. So I guess this is a sign to go ahead and pick him up. I didn't know Sinisterra could speak Dutch. It's something new you learn. And depending on how much experience a player has, depends on what kind of experience bonus they get. And this is what I love about games like this that keep historical stats, because you could go back and see what players have been scoring. So okay, obviously that's why Sinisterra speaks Dutch, because he played 94 games for Feyenoord. So not only do you get the real life stats, but you also get historical player stats. The further you get into a save, maybe 5-10 years down the line, you could overlook everything and just know every single little detail about a player. You get introduced to the club with a nice little welcome email. You've got a sponsorship paid bonus. Our staff are already working hard with a talented youth scout. I thought he said we found someone called Jack Wilshere, but no, apparently he's a youth team coach now at Arsenal. He's identified Matthew Roper for the youth team. Do you want to sign him? Let's take a look. Kind of an attacking midfielder, center midfielder, a ball-winning midfielder, and he's got the devil emoji character. Okay, he's got the wild boy character trait. Just look at him. He looks like he'd be fun at parties. He's English, he's homegrown. I like these different attributes that never really came to FIFA, the likes of tactical awareness, consistency. With youth players though, you can go into detail and see what their school grades are like. I can demand a little report card from the teacher to see how much of a wild boy he really is in class. I could hire a private tutor for him and also hire a personal trainer. Bad news, Roy Hodgson announces his retirement for 2026. Why do I have to live through this pain twice? That's another feature that's not in career mode. Managers can retire, managers can get sacked and switch clubs in the background. Right here you can see your current team rating in the Premier League, the season so far, their current form. We've got Sir BCHD, my manager profile. I'm on level 1. I'm a rookie, and my personal fortunes displayed on the screen. I didn't realize they were going to display my finances like that, but alright, I'll be transparent. And I like how you could simulate either the entire week or just simulate up until the next competitive match. Every single different aspect of your club broken down. Obviously, you've got the weakest link right here, baby. The manager, sitting at a 1 out of 5. The board has 4 stars, down to the stadium, goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, attackers. Our tactics are only 1 star. Transfers not coming too hot either. And our club facilities sitting at a 3 out of 5. So we have plenty of areas to improve and upgrade. We've got the team tab. In the calendar, you can see your upcoming fixtures, of course, but not only for the first team, you can see your fixtures for the reserve team, the under 17s, for the under 15s. We've got different world events happening, so you can see like the Trophée des Champions final took place in Paris today, or that Mohamed El Neni has ruptured his ACL. Get notified when youth players turn 16 and you can offer them a first team contract. You've got a current leaderboard of your first team's experience levels. Martin Odegaard currently leading the list with an 89.8% progress. He's currently on level 86. Maybe you can simulate to oh my god, you can simulate to a day. I'm an idiot. So let's just say we want to simulate to the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. We could simulate until that date. You've got the standings tab where you can not only see the first team, but you can see your reserves. You can see the under 18s. Oh my god, you can see the youth divisions. They've got their own separate table. They have their own fixtures. That's all going on in the background. I'm more impressed of how like different youth teams have their own tables and fixtures and teams. This is what we should have got in FC 25 career mode, not the stupid little rush youth tournaments that you could play through. Nevertheless, we're going to dive into the first team right here. And I know it's like the visuals look a little bit dated, but that's all you really need. The pitch, the starting 11, your formation, got the tactics wizard set up. So the tactics wizard will help you set the most important tactics for your team's defensive behavior and build-up play. So it's selected a 3-1-3-1-2 formation. Okay, I'm just going to let the tactics wizard cook here. Oh my god, you could do the complex settings. This just overwhelms you even more. You've got your short, cautious style of passing, or you could go your long balls and risky. I want to settle maybe at like a happy medium, maybe 60%. You could select crossing position, so you can cross from deep or at the byline. You could select who the target man is, like not that Arsenal have too many. We can select a special motivation for our players. Yeah, win bonus of 10 grand. That's my proposition. Commitment levels, I'm assuming that's for like all these tactics differently set out. There you go, it's clicked into place. The tactical wizard wanted us to do this 3-1-3-1-2 formation, so we're going to stick with it despite its flaws. Odegaard's the captain, Declan Rice is vice. You've got their leadership level on the side, obviously your penalty takers. You can select your free kicks, free kick attacking and corners, and you could just get the CPU to sort players by skills and it does it for you. And then we've got the reserve team down here, which again, oh my god, we've got players like Ethan Wanyeri in here. In his player profile, you can see that he's in the under 23s and his character traits are that he's ambitious and he's level-headed. And I could go through every single player and ask the assistant to play them in their preferred position, so you get kind of a little bit of control over where he's playing and how he's developing. I can say that he must be in the team or to never select him for the team. I can say that he trains with the first team, so he's part of the under 23 squad, but I want him training up with the big boys, not promoted just yet. And you could add different training objectives to their regime every week. So ball control and dribbling, I want him to mainly focus on, as well as short passing. I want to get both ball control and dribbling at a 90 and short passing to an 85. You can get really in detailed with this. You could go through and have a talk with him. This feature didn't come into career mode until like FIFA 20. I can gas him up. I could tear him down. Like, you have to do better if you want to move up to the first team, and see how it affects him. See if it actually motivates him. Let's just say that to him and see what his response is. I'm not doing that bad at the moment, so I guess he has some confidence in himself. I could find similar players. What are some similar players? So the likes of Arda Güler pop up. Rayan Cherki. I'm a fan of that feature, not gonna lie, and I love these character traits. Like, he's lazy, level-headed, and selfish.
Brilliant, but lazy.
That is just a recipe for disaster. A failure waiting to happen. What's Arda Güler? Nerves of steel. Gentleman. At 18, he's ambitious, professionalism, and a team player. He's valued at only £17 million. That would be a steal. From our reserves, then we have our 2 youth teams, the under 18s and the under 16s. We've got our training tab where we can customize team training, individual training, training groups, and then long-term training. Man, this is actually crazy. The level of customization and control you have. You could could hire a fitness expert, a mental coach, a motivational speaker. I want to hire a mental coach for 43,000. I want to hire a fitness expert. I just want to completely upgrade our staffing situation because you can see the unmotivated players list. Special motivation program, a special training program for players to improve their mental skills for the upcoming season. Oh, the more players you select, the more expensive it's going to be. Timber's just injured his ACL. He needs a bit more motivation. And Ketia needs some motivation to actually score alongside Havertz. We've got different group trainings to customize. We have our goalkeeper training, our reserve team trainings. These are like different types of trainings you could just drag into the calendar. Down here, you can see what type of effects your training is having on your players and what areas you're focusing on, how it impacts the team. So if there's something specific you want to focus on, you could just get your assistant to schedule it out for you. And then we got to kind of sprinkle them all in there and fit them throughout the week. And you could just keep on generating different programs and different training regimes you want to experiment with. The training intensity is hard, but hey, that's life under Sir BCHD. It is going to be hard, and this is what I was talking about before, the team dynamics section, which is split up into the team analyzer tab, team hierarchy, history, promises, player matrix, and team matrix. Your team dynamics score is analyze all of our teams at the club. We've got the team hierarchy, which was the little pyramid structure we saw before, from your team leader to your leading players to influential players to down at the bottom we've got the prospects. And our assistant manager right now says the structure of the team looks fine. We can check in on our reserve team. You can see players like Declan Rice. He's a new signing this season, so he's not fully accepted into the team yet. And Zinchenko, he's not a new signing, but you know, his off-field decisions make him not fully accepted, I guess. And you've got their own little personal motivations, I guess. So Declan Rice and Saka want to play at the highest level possible. They want to win the championship. Players have their own personalities and set their own goals. I haven't really set any promises really, but if you set up too many promises for the team and individual players and don't meet up to them, obviously you're gonna have a few trust issues happening. And this is the player matrix. You can see the kind of player dynamics and the relationships throughout the entire team. So he has national team colleagues with Aaron Ramsdale and Saka. Both him and Martin Odegaard share a common objective, and Thomas Partey right now is his main competition for that position. But if you go to the likes of Jesus, he wants to be challenged in training, and you could kind of filter through the entire team and see how players interact with each other. And it gives you that extra level of depth and information and makes you feel really attached to the players and knowing what's going on. This level of detail and data at your disposal is crucial. You can take a look at all connections, positive connections. I want to see all the negative connections. Oh, we've only got a few here. So this is what happens at the beginning of the season with the first training session. This is the first day of training. You want to make a good impression on them. So let's just set out some seasonal objectives in front of them. We'll win the championship, and I want to win the cup as well. We have some team promises we have to keep to them in terms of infrastructure. The stadium will be extended and our training facilities will be improved. In the club tab, we have our staff section, which is kind of broken down not only into the coaching staff, which was introduced into career mode in FC24. However, we've got our coaching staff, we've got our medical department, we've got our management, we've got our PR team, just in case one of our players get hit with a case. I mean, we've got to hire a fan coordinator, a spokesperson, or lawyer, just in case. You never know. You've got our scouting team broken down into 6 individuals. Jack Wilshere being a youth team coach still throws me off, but he's here nonetheless. On the transfer market, you can see every single player in the world that have been listed on the transfer list by their clubs. So for example, Danny Rose has been put on the transfer list, or even better, he's a free agent actually. There's a little option down here you could tick to make it only realistic transfers only, whatever that means. But I don't see a section where you can search by name, so you can't just type in whatever. You kind of have to grind it down and find exactly what you're looking for. You've got all your current negotiations and also transfer preparations where you could talk to the media about a certain player. Let's just say Victor Gyökeres for Sporting. I can either praise the player, he's my favorite, he's on our watch list, I'm interested in signing him, so I'm just going to select that. You can also strike up cooperation agreements with bigger or smaller clubs. We could have a specific offer, so let's just say for a 4-year contract, Norwich are going to pay us 160 grand, but we can arrange a couple friendlies with them. We could transfer some of our under 21s to them, some of our loan players, and as you kind of customize the contract, there is an evaluation going on down the bottom. You can then make your offer, and you could have up to 3 cooperation agreements running at a time. In the home tab, you've got a few suggestions and recommendations for yourself, things to do with your first team, youth team, our training. Your team is unfit, so I need to schedule some more fitness training sessions apparently. And our youth players don't have any mentors, so we should do that to help improve their development. I want to do it now. And you're going to notice, guys, pretty much everyone in your youth team under under-17s, your B team even, they're going to have 2D mini faces. Everyone has updated photos and updated face scans in the game, which we'll get to later, but this just adds another extra level. They're not just randomly generated fictional characters, they're actually real-life players with faces. Oh no, we've got a few under-16s with 2D faces, like Obi Martin. An area of the game I'm just a massive fan of right now is the scouting systems they have implemented into the game, where you could send your scouts to watch actual like individual matches being played, track them and analyze them all to your pleasure. You could also acquire new scouts via the buy scout systems. Here's your look at all the different systems. We've got the Scout 1, which costs 96 grand, an ICU to get medium updates each week. We can get big updates every week, or we can have Pro Scouting 2.0. I want to install the latest version of Scoutomat for my club. I don't want us missing out on the next big generational talent. You could just customize it again to your liking and get the updates as you please. But you also, of course, have your youth scouting system where you could send staff members to youth player events, either broken up into regional, national, or local youth player tournaments. Again, features we've never seen implemented in career mode before. And let I remind you, this game was made in like 2012. Participate in a scouting course for 12 days or arrange a holiday camp for 14 days. When it comes to our regional options, we have sponsor a youth tournament, or we could watch a youth tournament for 4 days. And then for the national side of things, we have watch a cage ball event or watch some football tennis. I want to do a bit of both. Let's dabble in both. I'm going to arrange a holiday camp. So attending youth player events will increase your club's presence in the according range. That leads to more talented youth players. From time to time, your staff might find a raw talent as well. So we're just going to cross our fingers and hope. Let's just put Jack Wilshere out as one of the youth coaches. We'll send him on that local mission. I don't know. Tony Lima around children might be dangerous. So I'm going to send Mark Curtis on his way. Some other cool little planning features and just overall squad analysis components. We have these two tabs right here where you can start planning for the next season already. You could future-proof your squad right here. We also just have a club overall analysis, but it sorts it out into different tiers for you. So you've got candidates for a contract extension, players with great potential for the future, and players without a great future at the club. You've got your financial status tab, which breaks everything about your financials down. And again, there's an option where you can play without this embedded into the game. We can just purely focus on the football. But this is the life I chose. Sir BCHD chose to take control of the entire club. Got your board trust meter. We've got some notes left for us by the board saying that we can increase the budget by 30 mil, or we could change budgets twice a season. We have different tabs, including our accounting journal, where it breaks down every single income and expenditure day by day. We also have bonus payments that we have to track, like goal bonuses, clean sheet bonuses, appearance bonuses. You can see here our top salary earner, Declan Rice. And it turns out he's also our top bonus earner, but I don't think many bonuses have been handed out at Arsenal recently because he's getting £0 of bonuses. And then again, just the general summary of everything broken down into a balance sheet. I feel like I'm doing business studies all over again. I feel like I'm back at school looking at all these numbers, these Excel spreadsheets. For all you finance football nerds out there, this would be a wet dream for you guys. Going public, fan assets. What does going public do? We could go on the stock market. What? This game is sick, man. I love it. Who was cooking all this for FIFA Manager and then, like, career mode just got none of this love? I want to put Arsenal on the stock market and see if we could, like, improve the stock price, crash the stock price. We've got to go public in order to actually launch the share. So we've had to have made profit last season, and our manager has to have been at the club for 3 years. So I don't think this is a feature I could test out today. You've got fan assets. I don't even know what these assets are. Is this some kind of crowdfunding? I have no idea. Like, there's an interest rate you could apply. I'll have to pay 5 million. I guess I'll just create it and see what it does. We have some fixed investments to worry about. We can invest some money, 2.9 million pounds. We'll invest it for a year and see what happens to it. Can we grow our investments, or are we leading this club into liquidation? We can start a new membership campaign. This will cost you 240k. Yes, please. You can also take out a loan, and then we have to eventually pay it back. I feel like I'm playing a banking simulator right now. And we haven't even taken into account all of this under the club tab, we have merchandising, where we can track sales of the home kit, the away kit, shirts, scarves, caps, shorts, pennants, stickers, balls, football socks, bumper sticker, flag, woolly hat, poster, calendar, and even do some research and development and test some new products like a baby rattle, a clock, a keyring, a mouse pad, a mug, a quilt cover, a rubber ducky, shower curtain, shower gel, thermometer. Like, straight up, this is just capitalism, the game. I feel like mugs are a big seller, so I want to prototype a mug. It's gonna cost us 8 grand. They're gonna sell like hotcakes. It's Arsenal fans, they'll buy anything. We're testing 3 of our prototypes. Let's see if that was a great business venture. Anything that'll print us money, I'm happy to invest in. Oh, we could extend the merchandise shop. Yes, I want to extend it. What is this? Are we playing SimCity right now? That's the stadium. We've got the training ground. What else can we improve? Youth facilities, training pitches. We've got our youth stadium over here. We've got our youth boarding school. We're building a whole Arsenal mini city over here. Oh my god. I don't know whether to laugh or cry, bro. EA made this game. EA, what do you do? Like, we could build infrastructure. We've got a media center, a merchandise production center. We've got the sweatshop working overtime. We've still got some merchandise features to cover, but you can see our sales numbers from last season. We have our current sales overview of calculated profit in a nice little line graph. Right now, it's Bukayo Saka, the most popular player with over 1,000 kits sold. Him and Martin Odegaard leading the race. Please choose the marketing agency for our campaigns. These aren't even sponsors. These are marketing campaigns that were already built into the game. We go Highline House. I want that optimum PR. We can export sales. So what is this? Select a region to export. Let's go North America. Oh, you could build merchandise shops all over the world. What? Now we're talking. We can build a new shop there, generate more sales worldwide, and capitalize on these big Premier League clubs and their global fan base. Really squeeze every single last dollar out of the consumer. So let's build one of these international fan shops. Let's go somewhere in Africa. You even get, like over in Ghana, you've got a player, Thomas Partey, is Ghanaian. So it kind of gives you a guide into where to build a shop, but let's just go to Ghana. That'll cost us £3.2 million with a yearly upkeep of 1.6. We are making mega money moves here. I'm no longer a football manager, and you can kind of track how many sales it's doing, what the turnover and profit levels are. I also low-key want to build one in America. That'll be a lot where the money is. So let's build a new shop. Of course, it's more expensive. We're moving to upstate New York, baby. I'm walking here with £5.4 million, yearly upkeep of 2.7. Let's see where most of the global fan shop money is coming from. Let's go down to shirt. We have a separate tab for shirts. Oh my god. Do I even have to say anything, man? Like, come on. Ain't no way. This is a screen where you could not only change player shirt numbers, but you could also go ahead and customize your own shirt design from year to year, season to season. Right now, we have got the actual Arsenal kit from the last season, 23-24, or you could just go ahead, untick that, and try and create your own little masterpiece. You could change the badge position from right to center to left, which you can't do in FIFA. You could change where the player name goes, so you could either have no player name or have it at the bottom or the top. You can actually change the color of the captain's armband. You can go ahead and customize that to your liking. And here's something you can't do in FC25, and that's actually go ahead and customize the short color and also your socks. And you've also got an away kit. The only downside to this system really is the lack of options and also the lack of having a third or fourth kit. But let's just appreciate what EA were cooking up literally over a decade ago, and it was going completely unnoticed. It opens you up to so much creativity, or if you like to stick to realism, you could use the real world kits in the first season, then after that just go ahead and customize your own year by year. There are so many different ways to play with this and experiment, which I love. Just like in the good old days of career mode, FIFA 09, FIFA 10, we can set the ticket prices, and not just low, medium and high, but we can set the specific prices down to the dollar and to specific sections of the stadium. So for the main grandstand, I can have it up to £80, and it rounds up your total match day revenue. Literally every single area of the stadium is covered. You can see the average attendance active fans last season was 231,000. You could charge more for the away fans and just create a completely bad experience for them. So let's jack their prices up to like £60 a ticket. You can even go ahead and set discounts. So you can either do extra charges, or you could set a different type of discount for friendlies, an auto extra charge if you're playing the top 5 teams of the division. So your tickets just automatically go more expensive depending on who you're playing every week. We can also add a season ticket discount. So I want to go and put on a little bit of a sale right now. 25% discount on the season tickets. We can track how many season tickets we've sold to see if it was a worthwhile campaign. And let's say you're like 5 years down the line and you formed a little rivalry with Everton for some reason. You could jack up the ticket prices just for that game. You can see your expected attendance falls depending on what price category you have it set to. There's a lot to play around with, a lot of things to set and customize. In terms of our sponsorship, we've got our main sponsor, which is of course Emirates, like it is in real life. So they've kept it going there, quite realistic. You've got your general sponsor happiness bar. We're sitting right now in the green at a 15 out of 20. We've got a sponsor day. We can start a sponsor campaign. We get a general overview of all of our income this season, including our main sponsor, naming rights, some ad board money we can rake in, breaking down all the individual bonuses for the club. We've still got another 5 years left on this deal. I just want to play around with as many features this game has to offer. So 710k for our sponsor campaign. Let's start that up. And then we've got some different tabs like our naming rights. We've got the sponsorship pyramid and of course ad boards. Oh my god, you can rename stands. You can rename different parts of your stadium. We're gonna call the away section the L taking stand. Like, these are just some features that I've never even thought of. Like, I've thought of building a stadium, customizing your infrastructure, but actually like renaming different stands. Like in Watford, you could have the Elton John stand. We also have the sponsor pyramid, which breaks down what kind of category these sponsors fit into. We have our platinum sponsors, which right now is currently Ed Sheeran's Mathematics Tour. We have our gold sponsors, including Prime Video and Carling. We don't have any current sponsorship offers. We don't have any more ad board offers, even though we have 38 free spaces. We are light years away from this in-career mode. This is so ahead of its time. I feel like this game's came out in like 2030, but realistically, it's a product of 2013. Let's go down to our achievements. All right, this is our little trophy room section. It's self-explanatory. We can take a look at all the different types of titles we've won, and not just us, but the club in general. We've already got a well-established trophy room here because we've chosen Arsenal, not Spurs. Continentally, yeah, this is where it's looking a bit empty. The 1994 Europa League, apparently, but no Champions League silverware here. And then Arsenal's Hall of Fame. Okay, I'm glad we picked a big club for this. Why is Granit Xhaka in Arsenal's Hall of Fame? We got the likes of Dennis Bergkamp, Lee Dixon, Thierry Henry, of course, Ray Parler, Robert Pires, David Seaman. We got Patrick Vieira, Aaron Ramsey. And it just fills you in with the history of the team. Like, imagine you took over a club you've never heard of before, and then you just had a look through all their old trophies. Maybe they won heaps back in the 30s and 40s, but haven't won anything since. You could familiarize yourself with former legends. It's a cool little touch to immerse yourself, but here we've got our own dedicated tab to the fans. I can already see this being the most toxic part of this game, because we can see the supporters' view right now. Alex B from High Wycombe ain't holding back. Sir BCHD, who's that? I say the same thing every day. Don't you worry, Alex. We have a 96 out of 100 fan view or fan image, and our summary, you can see how many fans you've got. So the current fan base, 200k. Club members right now, which is sitting at 5k. And you can see how many Arsenal fan clubs there are. So right now, 574. That's an awesome feature to have. Like, that's just a cool thing to know about the team. And you could also hire a fan coordinator. You can see a list of the fans' favorite players as voted in a poll. As we call on fan support, this option has a positive effect on the attendance of your next home match, but be careful, do not use it too often or your supporters will become annoyed. Either have a sponsor-free train, sponsor buses. Let's give away 400 free tickets, because why not? I'm feeling generous. Our impact is already rubbing off on the club right here, as our appeal for fan support has had a great effect. Apparently, we're going to anticipate a 10% higher attendance for our next home match. So your boys out here producing miracles. Now we transition over to the infrastructure tab, which we kind of got a little bit of a tease about earlier. But this is where things get serious. This is where this game stands on business, because you can see right there, top left, stadium expansion. Or we could just go ahead and build a brand new stadium, bun the Emirates off, or expand the capacity of the Arsene Wenger stand. We could increase the number of seats. We could implement a standing area. We can have more VIP seats. And you kind of have to propose your new changes to the board. It's going to cost £66 million to add 2,100 seats to the BCHD stand and 2,000 VIP seats. There ain't no way this game has a stadium editor. Yes, continue. Take me to the stadium editor. I don't even need FC25. I'm just gonna play this game. Who needs FM? I'm in awe. I'm actually in awe. Not only do we have the Emirates Stadium ready to customize and play around with the construction, but we also have the reserve team stadium that we can visit. And we also have the youth team stadium, which we can change our view all throughout the stadium right now. And obviously, this is kind of just a generic little stadium, but this is what the Emirates looks like in game. We can customize the stairways. We can customize the walls and the VIP area. We can customize different pillars and roofs. We have floodlights we can install. We can implement different video walls and screens to the stadium. We can change up the benches on the sideline. They have so many options down here. I want to go for the exclusive type bench on the sideline. They did not skip out on any details whatsoever in this game. I love it. I can get lost in this for hours. Right now, we have jam-packed this Arsene Wenger stand. We have a whole entire list of changes we've made. And lads, look at our total cost. We're going to send this club bankrupt if we pull off this. £218 million. What have we done? You have to actually build up some finances to make some impactful changes. Once you're done with all your changes, you just click the big tick and start building. It gives you the option to either pay it immediately or get a cheeky little loan. Architect's proposal. Someone has drawn up their own little plan, and we can either fluctuate between something simple, something normal, or something luxurious. We can tweak it alongside the architect. We want a bigger main grandstand. We want the stadium color scheme to be red, of course. It is Arsenal at the end of the day. Seat color will be a dark red, and I want to increase the stadium capacity. I want to go big. I want to go at least 100k. Well, the biggest we can go right now is 87k, just over 150 million to make it all happen. So I just want to make that proposal and see what the board says. And this is, this is the mock draft of the actual new stadium that we want to build. Everything looks state of the art. And what does the bench look like? Yeah, look at that bench. Look at the matchday tunnel. That is definitely up to Arsenal standards. So let's just see what happens if we build it. We can also select an application for a final. Oh my god, that's such a sick feature. I like that. Again, something I never would have thought of. You have to think about your actual home ground and all of its uses. Commercial use, football use, Europa or Champions League. Let's propose the application for this season. As the various constructions and expansion applications go on. In terms of club facilities though, we've got the Merchandise Production Center. Those were the little international stores we planned up in Africa and New York. You can see all the different kinds of facilities you have with their status, their costs. You can renovate them, you can deconstruct them. You can see the financial statistics around your club facilities, like all the maintenance costs, renovation costs, and upkeep every year. And it goes even deeper than that, bro. This game has left no stone unturned with the stadium infrastructure. Let's just say on a sold-out match day, it's the North London Derby. You can see everything about the stadium broken down into each segment, each category, like catering, the kind of catering costs that's going to happen per match, a match day program, the VIP areas, the locker rooms, public transport, facilities. I want there to be more catering because there's going to be more VIPs. You could print run more match day programs and have them at a high gloss quality. You can also have free magazines, gift bags, luxury food, free soft drinks. This is so extensive, so in detail, and this is not even just blowing career mode out the water, but it's also blowing Football Manager out the water. Like, this is what EA was cooking in the mid to late 2000s, early 2010s. And now lastly, in the club infrastructure section, we have youth camps. You can see the list of nations to scout in. We've got every single nation here. I don't know the exact number. Things we didn't have in FIFA up until FC25. This is, again, another feature that was delayed over a decade. You could also select specific towns, or you could search for them manually. So I'm going to scout in Frosinone, baby. I want to see what youth talent we've got on offer. We can either set up a youth camp, a youth center, a youth and scouting center, or just go balls to the wall with it and have a youth scouting center with a school. We're going to create our own little Arsenal mini city, as it's going to set us back £13 million. Bro, you can see we're tanking their financial situation. As soon as we stepped in the building, we're just spending like money ain't a thing. Arsenal's youth setup has begun in Frosinone. And you can see there, it's got a nice little photo for every city. It's kind of a cool little detail. They've gone fully in depth with this. What does Lithuania look like? Let's have a look. Yeah, Vilnius. What about Mexico? What's Mexico City looking like these days? Monterrey with that classic mountain in the back. Moldova? Has that got any nice little sceneries? Oh yeah, looks cute, looks cool. Like, this is just the extra levels of effort and small little details that they've put into this game to have, like, you know, photos of cities to fully immerse you. You've also got some cool little shortcuts up here, which I haven't noticed till now. Have a look at player stats, of course, just quick access to things, quick access to your tournament status, European stats you could quickly go over. You could filter through and go, who are the top goal scorers for every single league, the best outfield players for every league, League, Osimhen at Napoli last year. Kind of gives you a nice little overview of the European landscape right now, or your region, depending where you're managing in. Have a look at some of the best new wonder kids upcoming onto the scene. I mean, Yamal's in this game at 15, so they're already one-upping FIFA in career mode right now. You can see what nation is leading currently with the most European titles, who spent the most money for new signings. So much information and stats at your disposal. It's kind of got that newspaper theme about it. It's like you're reading, flicking through the pages. We also have your search history documented, so just be wary of that. It's convenient. And the last tab, I promise, the My Career tab, your page as a whole. No, you don't just create your manager, but he's got his own set of stats, his own backstory, his own look, his own career trajectory, his own reputation, his media status. Right now, I'm a rookie, but I'm in the positive headlines, so we ain't getting cancelled anytime soon. Got my experience level, my board trust, my media availability. I kind of want to lay low. I want to be mysterious with it, so I want to bring it down. We've got my stats at each club, my biography. I can actually change my selected portrait at any time too. I like that. We've got different options there. You can take a look at my current contract right now with Arsenal, my national team contract with Italy. I can either cancel it or extend it. Let's send myself on a language course, something that would be useful. I feel like learning Spanish is just, it's nearly a universal language. So many different nationalities and countries speak it, so I feel like it would be useful. Can do a quiz on training. Would you prepare yourself for the season quiz game? All right. There's like a heartbeat sound going on in the background. You guys can't hear that, but all of a sudden I'm on a football game show. I've been transported to the studio. We've got some football trivia. Which club does this badge belong to? Do I have a timer on this one? I have to think about this. So we have to answer all 12 questions. I want to get a perfect score. Who is currently the best player in the world? Is it just based on my opinion? Is it based on the Ballon d'Or? I don't even know how I'm supposed to answer that. I'm just going to say Haaland. Kevin De Bruyne? Bro, I'm about to crash out on this fun little mini game. Like, how am I supposed to know that? But this is where it gets hard. Like, they start showing you random photos of cities. That's where it stumps me. I can't get 12 out of 12. No good performances here. I'm crashing out. We get our own little special journey for my own career. See your trophies won. You're like flipping through a book. All the stadiums I've visited. Have photos of when we won trophies. Like, this is just a memory book, a picture book waiting to be filled to keep all of my best career memories in. Again, extra levels of details that can immerse you in your own little save, in your own world. I can donate money to the club. I mean, why would I do that if it's Arsenal? It's just an option. It's there. Player Manager Career Mode is actually a feature we had back in like FIFA 11, FIFA 12. Then it was removed in FIFA 13. Also an option in FIFA Manager. Got my own biography with all the important events of my career. Got a buddy list. I've got no friends. So that is worrying signs. No allies for me in the footballing industry. Best results, your best attendances, and your best finances will all be recorded. I've got my financial stats, like my personal income. This is a personal game as much as it is a team game. But we've got my own little trophy collection happening. Career options, potential interested teams. I can go on the manager transfer market. I can put myself out there and see what kind of job offers are on the line. Mikel Arteta is right now a free agent. No way, bro. If I get rich enough, I could buy this club. I could own Arsenal if I really wanted to. Or I could found a new club within this save. If I had the finances available, I can take a look at my own career options. Potential interested teams will pop up here and I'll be able to apply for jobs, I guess. So if you take the personal life route, you could set your marital status. It's like you're playing The Sims right now. We can say I'm in a relationship, married. EA were woke back then. Doesn't discriminate who you're married to. Let's shop for a wife. I don't know. Who looks decent here? Let's just say that's my wife. I've gone wife shopping. I can create a family. I can just release my bloodline onto the world. You could set up a save and already have your whole family created. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We could edit our child down to their interest in football. So I can say he's not interested whatsoever. He goes for other sports. He has some interest. He doesn't even like football. I think I would have banished him straight away if I found that out. He plays at a club currently. He's in a youth team and I can decide what my child looks like basically. I could have up to 5 different children. I can make a starting 5. I could send them on a futsal tournament around the world if I wanted to. You can't max it out and go OP with it. Not all of them can be in a club. So my children, Mark, BCHD Jr., Sean, Kieran, Catherine and Steve, who look like they're triplets. That is going to be my family legacy. I could select when our wedding was. My wife's name is Sydney Sweeney. Sir BCHD from another timeline who actually has a family. We're going to load up into a new save. And we'll see what the family life is like. We'll see Sir BCHD, the family man, in action. Now, when we click on the career tab, the personal life section is unlocked. And we have so many different things to do, like some important events. We can have personal sponsorship contracts. We can go out and play golf. We can go sailing. We can be a marathon runner in the meantime whilst I'm coaching a football team. I can go mountaineering. If I can spend some time with my partner, I can cut off their money supply. There will be no child support payments happening. It's all my money. Spend time with my partner. Let's go dancing together. Your partner really enjoyed the dancing. This cost 114 quid to go dancing. Jesus, where are we living? Anyways, we can keep track of all our children, our attributes as a partner. Her intelligence, her patience, her spending habits, and her football interest is a 2 out of 4. We got to bump those numbers up. Not the spending habits though. We've got my cars and real estate. Nothing much to boast about here. I've only got 5k in the bank. I don't have any luxury items to my name. We've got the stock market I can invest into. So here are some publicly listed clubs. I want to buy 4 shares of Ajax, or 4 stocks. And there you go. Here's my little portfolio coming together nicely. And our other investments include high risk shares, low risk shares, equity funds. Doesn't take a genius to figure out that I am not in Italy's top richest man. I'm not in the top 200. I'm nowhere near it. What other luxury items do we have? Fishing equipment, treadmill, camera equipment. We can buy a horse. What's the most expensive item on this list? I've got a corporate jet for 6.8 million pounds. I could go for a ranch in Texas, a helicopter, a noble rank. I can be a king. I can finally be knighted as Sir BCHD. Let's just hop on the trend and do a round of golf. So apparently I'm a beginner. I can select a marathon to run in. Let's apply for the Berlin Marathon in 3 days. Like, this is just basically Sims at this point. This has nothing to do with football, but again, it's the whole manager experience, the whole manager simulation. Let's just see what happens when we separate from partner. Yes, I want to separate from Sydney. I've had enough. We're calling off the wedding. No marriage. And then my family just disappears as well. I've lost my whole bloodline with one click. I can lock in and just go monk mode. Don't look for a partner, baby. We are focused on the football now. This is a luxury feature, if I do say so myself. But this is fun to dive into and experiment with nonetheless. It just adds another extra layer and would be a welcomed addition into any football game. Oh my god, we could watch other matches. Hold up. This is something I'm definitely willing to go ahead and do, like other games of other teams. So they're not fake games and fake results. They actually happen within your world. We've also got some more little visual shortcuts down here, like going straight to the news center, going straight to your calendar, our first team selection, second team, youth team, player training, which you can just go straight to, the team dynamic screen. You can also delegate tasks as well. So that's what your club staff is there to do. I could just delegate that task to Miguel Molina, and he'll figure it out without me having to go and do it. I'm going to let Albert Stewie-Venberg set the training objectives. He can also handle the player training. I want Jack Wilshere. He's a youth team coach at the end of the day, so I'm going to get him to create the new team lineup, but I'm going to take control of the tactics in game, and you can kind of shift your play style to what you don't really want to do. You can delegate the tasks and kind of focus on the areas that you want to focus on. This is the contract negotiation screen. So the player is sick with the club he is now with. Okay then. Off you go. I don't want any bad eggs in the dressing room as Borussia Mönchengladbach. His market value is 3.8 mil, so I'm going to try at least get 3 mil out of him. This is an extremely low ball offer. We've got all these different types of bonuses we can include in the deal. We can also arrange a friendly with the club as well, but I'm just going to submit demand. This is a training camp in Harrogate, a pre-season venture for the boys, so we're going to focus a lot on teamwork. Got to focus on our fitness, of course, and we've tried to balance things out there. Actually, let's change that and go build up play and pressing as we simulate through the days, simulate through the week. This is the screen, and you kind of have a lot of information laid out in front of you. You've got your news on the left-hand side. You've got your weekly progress, club facilities, team dynamics is all in here. And now we're back in the main menu with a bunch of emails to attend to. This is all your widget customization you can get, so you can have whatever information you want displayed on the side tab in your menus. I don't want this big browse feature here, so instead of that, I'm going to have bans and injuries. You could choose the desktop background, so instead of that boring little desk, you can change it up. You could also have an MP3 player. Flick through whatever in-game music this has. You'll load up all different kinds of widgets and information displayed on the side here. So it's really up to you at the end of the day. You can choose your own aesthetic. A lot of power is left in your hands. As we keep simulating through, we get a little transfer recap. We've got transfer of the week. So right now we're going through our preseason friendlies. This is just like the match sim screen. One way to view the game and play through them, just the instant little events popping up. And here's some of the results of the first day of our Harrogate training camp for the squad. You can see all the stats going up. Tommy Yasu's increased his aggression. Ben White +2 sprint speed. Saliba's gone up. Upgrades in jumping +2. We signed that cooperation deal with Norwich earlier, so we've got our little preseason friendly we agreed on. This is the pre-match screen you get. You get a nice little picture of the city where we're playing, an expected attendance, the weather, how far it is away from our stadium, their team rating. So we've selected our squad ready to jump into the game. We're going to start the match. This is the screen where you can select the type of match mode you want to enter into and simulate. Just before, it was instant results. You've got a video text mode. We've got just a text mode in general. And then we've got the 3D match. And when you select that, you've got your kit selection. You can select for either teams. And you get the little pre-game talk to your team. So apparently I've got a certain level of speech points. I've got 4 manager points to my name. So if I select option 3, get out there and keep it simple, the team should receive a respectable result. Fight for every ball. The match will be acceptable. And if we never lose one, the team must not lose. Let's just fight for every ball. See how they go in this 3D match engine. FIFA Manager 24. We're loading on in. We got a nice little picture in the background here of Carrow Road in real life. Here's how Norwich are fielding their starting 11. You can see that we've actually got some decent mini faces and also game face scans in the game for pretty much every single player. That's how we line up. Even Norwich have got some game face scans in there, so it's not just for the big teams. And some of these graphics are better than Football Manager. There's no real-time score ticker there in the top left. We've just got the 1 minute mark, then it switches to 2, so it's minute by minute. But we've also got a little mini menu to play around with in the bottom. We've also got an options mode right here where we can see the full match, which we're viewing right now. Oh my god, the referee's even got a face scan in there. We can tick on replays and cinematic views. We can change different camera angles, so we can go to the action camera angle, broadcast mode, which I want to put on because you can see like the fans in the stands, all their reactions. Let's just go for highlights in this game. So if you select highlights, you'll get this screen until the next highlight loads. You can increase the speed 1 times, 2 times, 4 times. You can also just have it on goals, so you can watch back literally just the most important moments. Nketiah threw on goal and scores an absolute banger, channeling his inner Luis Suarez. He didn't have to put it dot pins, but he did. You get a cute little overview of the game here. Single match results in other games. You get a nice little progression bar. The text-based events are popping up there, and we've just got more highlights to showcase here. We can break it down into chances, shots on goal, all the information you want. You can even get a nice little 2D overhead view as well, so you can get that going whilst you're looking at the highlights, just to get things moving. But you can always adjust how you want to watch the game. Highlights mode, goals mode. We have our little tab, tactical bias and commitment. We can change our commitment levels through the game. Tactical bias, we can obviously change the way we want to play, so let's go on the offensive. On our commitment levels to be lowered slightly. We can turn on a time wasting tactic. We have just different tactics to play around with here. We can adjust our defensive line. We can turn off counter attacks. We can turn off the offside trap and just have quick access to all these different tactics here, like crosses and corners. I can do manager shouts from the touchline. Okay, as Norwich go and take the lead, they're 2-1 up. Obviously the engine, the match engine, is working off like FIFA Manager 2012 graphics, but they've kind of modded modern day faces into the game. You can see the match engine, and I guess the gameplay is based off what they had in the early 2010s. So, you know, player movements, animations might not be the most realistic. It looks as good as it can based off the technology and the game system and the code it's working with. These modders are absolutely insane, bro. They definitely deserve to be hired by EA. Help revive this spin-off game. We want it back. We want something competing with Football Manager. It would be cool to see. And there's me on the sidelines. I'm making my appearance. Yeah, I look good from that angle. I can tell them to pass right, pass forward, pass left. And that's your halftime report. Might need a cheeky little halftime talk here. Open tactics board. We can go back and change this all again. We can adjust it to how we see fit. We can have different halftime talks. So that was not our match plan. I know you can do better. Come on, lads. Show them who's boss. So under certain conditions, I can do a passionate speech, or the captain can also do a big speech in there. Atmosphere in the changing room. Right now, it's a 9 out of 20 atmosphere. Teamwork is sitting at 63 out of 100. The individual player team talks, and you can see the effect it's had there. Martin Odegaard, Saka, Ben White, they've all gotten the halftime massage. The atmosphere's improved in the dressing room, 11 out of 20. With those massages, with the team talks, let's hope we can finish off here with a happy ending. Gabriel Jesus with an absolute banger. I was going to do the managerial shouts and tell him to shoot, but he just had a Thanos moment. He said, fine, I'll do it myself. You could actually click on a player. I can get his information. I could sub him out straight away. So interactively tear players off if you wanted to. You can give him individual orders. You could edit his running routes and man marking, and you can also have tactical orders. Gabriel Martinelli, I want to give him a little individual talk, and maybe there's a player on the other team that's performing really well and you want to know more about them. You could click on them and search them up, get their player details straight away in game, and jot down a few notes about them in the process. We can edit his running routes. Oh my god, we've got a whole different type of game flow we can work with here. We can customize where we want our players to be and what part of the field we want them to occupy. So you can make Saka run on the inside, you can make him run towards goal, or just occupy this right hand channel. Simply just slide it up and down how much I want him to go forward, how much I want him to stay back. So you can get really intricate and really in detail with how you want your team and players to play. Again, you've got so many options to toggle with and experiment that I feel like the replay value and the immersion you can suck yourself into. Tomiyasu again, like these face scans aren't too bad for a game engine that's probably over 15 years old. It is goals galore. The fans are getting their money's worth today as our defense was non-existent. It's not all perfect. There is some flaws in terms of the gameplay, in terms of the match engine. But again, it's a simulation at the end of the day. It's not going to be top tier realistic. I feel like personally for me, what sells me on this game is just the fact of all the features surrounding the game entirely. There you go, the post-match report, where you get the star man for each team. Ashley Barnes taught us a lesson with a 7-match rating. The impact of my team talks. I actually had a negative impact. I didn't intend to, but we've already started off by losing -3 speech points. So I've got negative aura now. I'm -1,000 aura points. Apparently there's been a youth tournament in Luton. We've had the winners of the tournament be Chelsea. You get a nice little recap of what's happened, but most importantly, you get a list of the most outstanding youth players at the tournament. So this is a nice little scouting tool you get where you can find the next big thing that can slot them not straight into the senior team, but that can go in my B team, my reserve teams, my youth teams. Some of them are actually real life players like Jaden Magoma, but then there are some regens and like game generated players. Like here we have John Pay at Manchester City. You get a nice little look at the youth scene and how your players did as well. Murray Benjamin was in there. Greg Williams could be a future first team shot stopper, so I want to offer him a contract, and Greg Williams is not interested. Just like that, I guess. Instant rejection. We've all been there before. So considering I can't buy or persuade any youth players, let's go for a senior first team player, Alexander Isaac. Well, we need a clinical finisher up front. He has a gift for languages apparently, and he's ambitious, and it's the kind of striker Arsenal need right now. I'm just going to give them an offer they can't refuse. 55 million. We're going to put in the bid for Isaac and see what Eddie Howe and the board have to say. Let's also make sure the finances are in order. Man, we have considerably crashed this club's finances. We've put them in the gutter. We ain't going public anytime soon, but the budget changes. Yeah, we've got 94 million in the transfer budget. We should be able to afford him. I want to launch the mouse pad. We're going to launch the mug. Now we're getting more products jammed into this shop store. Let's see how well they sell over the next few weeks. And apparently our stores are being built with 32%. Some progress is being made, baby. This is what happens when you simulate to a specific date or a specific game. You get this little sim screen, so it's different to when you're just chugging along through the calendar day by day. How did we do whilst I was simulating? We lost that game against Norwich, but we won 5-0 against Cheltenham, 3-0 against Carlsjö FC, 6-0 against Blackpool. I'm feeling generous today. Let's donate £1 to Arsenal. Did you really want to donate £1? Yes, I bet I do. Yeah, all right, there you go. We've improved our finances. It's coming out of my own pocket. Just noticed here, we've got this season magazine feature here. Let's click on it and see what it has to offer. We've got everything about the new season, a team-by-team breakdown where you get to really study your opponents and see what they're lining up with. Look at their current manager, the team sheets, see who their tallest, shortest, heaviest players are, lightest players, most loyal player, most experienced, most dangerous player, and see who they've brought in the process. Like Manchester United, for example, they've bought Lucas Paquetá this summer, so that's a bit dangerous. As you can tell, you've got the team photo for the year. You've got a picture of the stadium, Old Trafford, Manchester the City. Nice little senior team first photo. So BCHD, I don't think made the cut. That's an imposter imposter right there. That ain't me. It's got all the players sitting there spot on though. And then in this season tab, what have we got here? Sponsor income. Manchester United sponsor income of £41.9 million. And you can compare that revenue to a team like Luton, who only get £1.4 million of sponsor money. Again, another convenient tool that gives you information about your opposition and data that, you know, you could only dream of in career mode. I'm going to tell the lads to give it their best. Or, look, I've got 10 speech points now. I'm confident we won't lose today, boys. We're going to serve them up 115 charges. The Wembley introduction screen, it's different for every single stadium. It gives its own flavor and feel, and the real life photos. I just love that era of FIFA when they had like real life pictures in the menus. Here we go. Wembley is lit up. 90,000 in the house. Edison is there with his tattoos. We're wearing our custom away kit that I mocked up, and the 3-1-3-1-2 formation getting its debut. I think my settings from the last game is still on here, so we've got the game in 4 times speed. Oh my god, we've already scored. Kai Havertz. Okay, I wasn't even expecting that. Kai Havertz into the starting 11 and onto the score sheet, baby. Sir BCHD looking like an absolute fiend on the sideline. Who let him into Wembley? Oh my god, look at Edison, bro. That was like a Rob Green 2010 World Cup moment from him. Kind of, it looks like the graphics are low-key like Nintendo Switch level, if you know what I mean. What a save. You get these nice little cinematic cutaways too. Equalizer from Erling, and those low-key old celebrations that you used to see. The celebration cutscenes from back in the day. If you know, you know. And now they look like they're kicking into third gear. Phil Foden committing a foul. It's all happening in this Charity Shield game. So I just love these cutaways to Sir BCHD on the sidelines. Oh, we scored. Yes, let's go. Bukayo Saka, Sir BCHD, loving it. And that's something I want to test out as well. Does your manager get to hold the trophy and like parade it around? Because you've never been able to do that in FIFA. Or did they get medals? Yeah, we're going to start making some subs. This needs some tactical innovations coming through. Hey, yo, that is not Matheus Nunes. That is an imposter if I've seen one. Matheus Nunes ball inside. No! Referee should have blown the whistle, man. Gabriel looped ball over the top. Haaland hat-trick. And now we don't even get to see penalty shootout or extra time. Do we have something? Nope. Referee's called it a day. He's blown the whistle. You get the full animation. He looks at the watch. And here we have the depressed Arsenal final losing celebrations. Here we get the depressed losing celebrations as they go up and collect their medals. Do we get the full cutscene? No, we don't. Okay, welcome to Ups and Downs. Okay, this is kind of our monthly recap of how players are developing. Right now, we've got Jorginho, who looks very fit. We've got a little thumbs up there. He is number 1 on the ups. Let's have a look of ups and downs of our youth squad. Okay, this is a nice little automated overview of everything. Amari Benjamin, he is got more robust. Okay, nice little statement on how they're going. Harrison Dudiziak, he has learned a lot from a great youth coach. The more I bring up the transfer fee, the more it's entering the green realm now of acceptable £80.5 million. Let's just hit him with the 85. And you can also have the option as declaring it as your final offer. So another little negotiation tactic there, but we're just going to leave it for now. We've got enough money to splash. I just want to sign a new player and see what happens. League by league, we have different league facts going on. So nice little moments and fun facts pop up in this like newspaper format. It's kind of cool. We can head to France, sort it out league by league. We can see who the most negative and positive transfer balances on the transfer market have been like. Monitor the most expensive transfers. Premier League records like the most matches. James Milner with 619. The youngest player in the league. The best player in the league. Your forecast. Sir BCHD, please move the team logos to the table positions. Okay, so it kind of gives you a little bit of manager interaction here. My manager can predict the Premier League season. I'm just going to say, you know, my boys are going to win the league. City are going to finish 3rd. United in the top 4. Liverpool 3rd. That's how the league is going to pan out. Let's do a few swaps here and there and reshuffle everything. I don't know what kind of reward I get from that. Maybe I get more manager experience, or I get more like reputation level the more I get right. And you can go back to your Premier League table prediction and like compare it at the end of the season to see how many you got right, to see how wrong you were. Our first team extension has finished, so it's prepared, it's ready for the start of the new Premier League season. And then our merchandise production center. So again, this cheeky little visual here of your entire facilities, and it's all mapped out for you. And you can see the fruits of your labor, the fruits of this expansion project, and the stadium's looking better than ever, baby. More matchday revenue, more fans, a better experience. We can see that we've sold over 8,000 season tickets. Here we go, the Premier League matchday experience. You get that nice little league overlay, the Premier League branding in the background. Is the Premier League matchday any different? We're just going to say give it our best. I've lost all my managerial aura at this point. What? Not only do we get the Premier League music, which I'm going to mute, but we get the nice little Premier League overlay, the graphics. You get the pre-match lineups of the players popping up on the screen. I don't know. I'm just really impressed right now. We've got the Premier League scoreboard up there. So the broadcast packages are in. Get the audio, visual experience, the ad boards on the side. All your sponsors are present on match day. Here we go. We've got a goal of our own here. Saka, ball inside. Gabriel Jesus at the back stick. And you can also check in on other results live whilst you're simulating your own game. So that's kind of cool if you need to keep up with other results going on. You can see the Premier League table move in real time. And we kick off this Prem campaign with a loss at home to Nottingham Forest. So I look like I'm getting the sack any day now. I am finished, blood. This could be over for me. Alright, we've hit the player negotiations for this transfer. £90 million we had to bump it up to. Here's the rundown as you have some little comments on the side, like his rating. He's only slightly interested in transferring to us. We haven't had any contact with him so far, so it might be challenging. He wants to sign a 3-year contract, and he also wants an option to extend. Let's negotiate. Let's give him what he wants. His role in the team, he'll be guaranteed in the first 11, no doubts. Let's gas him up as much as possible. His basic salary, let's bump it up to at least 180. Take it or leave it. He's got the option for 1 more year. He's got a few appearance bonuses in there. I can add and remove different types of bonuses. I can introduce a release clause if I wanted to. His evaluation is quite good. I'm going to make this offer straight up, and the board will never allow you to complete a deal like this. Why not? Maybe we've bumped up his salary too much. Let's just stick with 130 is what they suggested, right? Just receive the offer. He's going to have some time to think about it. Let's hope we get some good news back as Alexander Isak joins our club. He has joined for a record 90 million fee. Okay, so when you sign a player, you can choose how you want to reveal a player. Nowadays, player reveals and like transfer announcements have gone to a crazy level. But we can either reveal him at the stadium, the good old-fashioned way, in a press conference, or on the website, which would cost $0. Let's just do at the stadium, 50,000. Even though nowadays you do a combination of all three. So let's keep simulating through. Apparently, I'm a 1 out of 20 in the media. My status isn't looking too good. My PR is in the gutter. There you go. It's popped up in the news on the Premier League website. BCHD signs Alexander Isak for Arsenal. I can also give instructions for the assistant. So he must be in the team. I've got to have that checked. Preferred position, obviously a striker. This game also had a rumor mill, not just for contracts or players, but for managers as well. Look, I've overpaid for him, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to complete a high-profile transfer, and we're going to slot him straight into the first team there. He's just waiting to get on the pitch. Alexander Isak up front now with Gabriel Jesus. That would be a killer partnership. Hold the back page, hold the front page. We're living in an alternate reality right now. This ain't my universe, I can tell you that for free. I think this is a game for the football purists, for the enthusiasts out there, a proper manager simulation. Nevertheless, that has been FIFA Manager 2014, juiced to the gills with the latest and greatest 2024 updated mods running at full capacity. There's even more to this game that I didn't even have time to dive into, like that World Cup mode, or any of the Creator Club or Founder Club features that also include creating your own town, or even just creating your own stadium from the ground up. Let me know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the whole entire FIFA Manager franchise? Should they bring it back? I'm low-key sad it got discontinued and just abandoned by EA. Would you want FIFA Manager revived and remastered for the modern times? Let me know down in the comments below. Maybe I should stream it. Maybe I should do some more content on this entire series and just experiment with all the game modes it has to offer. So if you've made it this far, drop the video a like down below, hit subscribe and turn on the notifications for more great football gaming content coming your way. You know where to find me, lads. Keep it locked and loaded on the BCHD channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you lot on the very next video. Bye-bye. So you're telling me that I've played this game for upwards of 7 hours, and I've only now just discovered that there was a dark mode.